Good evening, folks. My name is Ho-Chi.
And my name is Marshall Man Ranger Savage. And welcome to the Cold War Report.
Tonight, we have a series of very chilling reports to make.
Sorry for the inconvenience. As we all know, the Cold War is well underway.
We'll be reviewing a timeline of the events thus far.
Of a rather hot war.
The Red Scare was a fear of communism in the United States during the 1920s. It was a fear of communism as an idea and the concept of it infiltrating American society. The judicial system turned a blind eye to complaints from people who were accused and reprimanded for communism because the national security of America was of the utmost importance. At the same time, President Truman adopted aggressive efforts against communism and would not deal with having any form of support for communism. The HOAC, or the House of Un-American Activities Committee, was developed to discuss about the matter of communism and similar cases in America. McCarthyism took hold and shook the nation as people were being blamed left and right. The Red Scare ruined many lives of American people and even ended some of them.
Time for...
Oh no!
Where's the leaf?
Here comes the totalitarian dictator of Russia, Joseph Stalin. Here comes the president of the democratic country, Franklin Roosevelt, who hoped to exert more American dominance in Europe and in the Pacifics, so America can prosper and compete with Russia. Here comes Winston Churchill, the giver of the Iron Curtain speech, representing Great Britain as its great leader who withstood the menace of Hitler and his German troops.
Mr. Churchill, you ready?
Give me a second.
I think I'm ready, yeah.
The Yalta Conference was held in Crimea near Yalta in 1945. The three big heads of government that met here were President Franklin D. Roosevelt of the United States, Prime Minister Winston Churchill of the United Kingdom, and Premier Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union. The Yalta Conference was the second of the three big wartime conferences that also included Tehran and Potsdam. At this conference, agreements were made to split Germany and Berlin into four occupied zones for the United States, the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, and France. France, however, would receive a portion formed out of the American and British zones. Further agreements include the demilitarization and denazification of Germany, Germany paying for the war, and Poland would be reorganized in a more democratic basis.
I go to here first, okay? So I take that, and you guys split.
Croissant, bonjour, what about me?
Should we give him a piece? Here you go, buddy. See you, Charlie.
After World War II, the Allies partitioned the defeated Germany into a Soviet-occupied zone, an American-occupied zone, a British-occupied zone, and a French-occupied zone. Berlin, the German capital city, was located deep in the Soviet zone, but it was also divided into four sections. In June 1948, the Russians, who wanted Berlin all for themselves, closed all highways, railroads, and canals from Western-occupied Germany into Western-occupied Berlin. This, they believed, would make it impossible for the people who lived there to get food or any other supplies and would eventually drive Britain, France, and the US out of the city for good. Instead of retreating from West Berlin, however, the US and its allies decided to supply their sectors of city from the air. This effort, known as the Berlin Airlift, lasted for more than a year and carried more than 2.3 million tons of cargo into West Berlin.
Now pick it up.
I got you.
Show turbulence. That's not a landing strip, that's an air quarter.
The U-2 incident occurred in 1960 when a U-2 spy plane flown by CIA pilot Francis Gary Powers was shot down in Soviet airspace by a Soviet surface-to-air missile. President Eisenhower attempted to cover up this espionage mission by saying that it was simply a weather plane that accidentally flew off course into the middle of the Soviet Union. Needless to say, Khrushchev quickly disproved the claim with photographic evidence of the imprisoned Powers, as well as evidence of the surveillance equipment from the wreckage. Powers was supposed to take a lethal injection of saxitoxin, but he didn't. As a result, Eisenhower was humiliated, and the U.S. had to trade a Russian spy for Powers.
It's hit. Boss, we got him.
On August 13, 1961, the Communist government of the German Democratic Republic began to build a barbed wire and concrete anti-fascistischer Schutzwall, or anti-fascist bulwark, between East and West Berlin. The official purpose of this Berlin Wall was to keep Western fascists from entering East Germany and undermining the socialist state.
Alright. Oh, guys, show me. Oh my god. Buddy, no. No.
In the video, we see revolutionary leader Fidel Castro sharing a bonding moment with the current leader of the Soviet Union. This bond caused paranoia in the United States government due to the Soviet Union having an ally so close to the United States. The bond also led to the Cuban Missile Crisis and the embargo on Cuba. In this bond, the Soviet Union would supply Cuba with food and other necessities, while Cuba would supply the army for the Soviet Union in their proxy wars. This alignment with the Soviet Union would also prove the ineffectiveness of the non-aligned movement when Fidel Castro is selected as secretary and persuades many of the nations to take a side.
What the hell? It's out, it's out. It's out, dude.
Dude, there's too much wind.
Cut it out. It's out, man.
Shall this know how to light a cigar?
Let me see. It's out. There's nothing like. There it is.
And you missed it.
Hey, you need to. Yeah, yo, get ready. Get ready.
Okay. Alright, go ahead.
Hey. Hey.
The space race was a competition between the United States and the USSR to explore space using artificial satellites and manned spacecraft. It can be seen as part of a much larger arms race, as developments in space research could easily be transferred to military research. Both countries started work on developing their satellites well before the height of the space race. However, the military benefits of the space race were not the only driving force behind the American and Soviet attempts to explore space.
Alright, so I think you misunderstood.
Obviously, the U.S. rockets are way better. We got better technology than you guys do. Overall, we're gonna go to space.
In Soviet Russia, our rockets are 4 times bigger and go 8 times higher.
This ship, the USS Maddox, caused the United States to send troops to Vietnam when the North Vietnamese army sunk the ship while it was inside their territorial waters. It was later revealed that the ship was spying on the radio frequencies of the Vietnamese. This event allowed President Lyndon B. Johnson to help any South Asian country which felt the oppression of communism. The resulting war turned out to be a giant loss for the U.S., a war that grew out of favor relatively fast due to the mass media that was covering the war. This war was the first of its kind to receive such press and to have so many pictures published for the rest of the world to see. The Viet Cong also had a large advantage knowing the terrain of the war and being able to use it to their advantage with ambushes. The final ambush that was the turning point of the war was the Tet Offensive. The United States then proceeded to follow a policy of Vietnamization, where the troops would be slowly pulled out and the control given back to the South Vietnamese. Unfortunately, the North Vietnamese were quickly able to take over the South afterwards.
Man, I don't even want to be here no more. There's some real scary stuff going on.
Yeah, man, I can't believe these Asians and their weird ass culture. Oh god, it's one of them, dude. It's seriously one of them. Oh god. Oh god.
And
Wait, what are we supposed to do?
dude, just laugh. I don't care. I mean,
laugh?
just point, laugh. Ah, a little more to the right. More.
Just hide, dude. Just hide.
I ain't in there.
All right, you're still in here. It's a pretty wide view. All right.
Go.
All right.
Okay. Alright, that's it. Got it, bitch.